In United States, also in India and other countries, for the armed forces, you need to motivate young minds, young hearts. So high school seniors, they were gathered once, and there was a request to recruit them, and the education institution said, yes, come. The only condition is this: we will give you 15 minutes, because we have a program, other talks are there, 15 minutes. So the Army, the Navy, and the Marine Corps, they were given total 15 minutes. You come and speak, and whoever joins you after that, you can enroll them, and then there is training and other things. So 15 minutes means for each of them there is only 5 minutes. First, the army personnel came and he spoke to the young minds. This is what you will benefit if you join the army, and this and so on and so forth. You'll be placed here, you'll be placed there, this is your stipend, so and so. But he went overboard. He took much more time than 5 minutes. Second, the Navy came, the Navy guy, and he spoke about, if you join the Navy, what are the benefits? He went on and on and on and on. Finally, there were only 2 minutes left for the Marine Corps. Not fair. Not fair to them. So the guy, you would not believe, he came on the podium and he actually put his head down, and for 60 seconds he looked down, and others are wondering, he has only 2 minutes, of that 1 minute he has wasted. And at the end he looked at the students and he said, I do not know how many of you all will join the Marine Corps, because it is not that easy. It's a very, very tough life, a very challenging life. I do not know even one of you all can come forward. But he said, I'll be sitting with others after this talk. Dear friends, do you know what actually happened? All three were sitting at different desks: the Army, the Navy, and the Marine Corps. You know where the students went to enroll themselves, their names? Not to the Army, not with the Navy, but with the Marine Corps. Because they did not want a life that was easy, a life with a lot of promises, but they wanted to be courageous. Most of them enrolled with the Marine Corps. And that is what today's liturgy is about. It is about being courageous and proclaiming Christ. You look at the gospel so beautifully. Jesus is healing a man who is born blind. You know what that one who is healed goes through? The gospel very clearly, it's from Gospel of St. John chapter 9. He is first questioned by his own neighbors and acquaintances. How were you healed? How were you healed? This becomes an opportunity for the man born blind to explain to his neighbors and acquaintances who healed, how the healing took place. And therefore, his journey in faith begins. Not just with healing, but with people questioning and he explaining to them who is Jesus. Once they have questioned, the second group, the Pharisees, they question him. Because many started believing in Jesus. They question him not to know about Jesus, but to put Jesus down. Second opportunity for him to speak. And he speaks. The third, the man's parents are questioned by Jews. His own parents are questioned. Not easy. Fourth, he is interrogated again by Jews. In fact, they reject him. It's not easy for him. In other words, he himself is crowned with thorns. by their disbelief. But the gospel so beautifully says the man earlier when he was healed, for him Jesus was just a man, because in his interrogation earlier he says the man called Jesus, he healed me. So he calls Jesus a man. Later on he calls Jesus a prophet. So there is progression in his faith from man to Jesus now a prophet. Then further he says, if he were not from God, then he would have not done this healing for me. Then he has to be from God. So from an ordinary man to a prophet to a man of God. And finally, when he meets and encounters Jesus again, he worships him. So from man to a prophet to a man from God, now to God himself, because he now worships. This is what a journey in faith is about. A man was an ordinary beggar who becomes now courageous witness of Jesus Christ. I don't know how many of you all have heard this, but this happened recently, a few years ago, in Tamil Nadu. You can go on your net, Google, and put this name. Her name is Shalini Roberts, a young girl. This incident happened in 2022. She was with her dad when she met with an accident. So she and her father met with an accident. The only thing that she remembers is this. She looked at the side. She found her dad dead. She was not sure that time whether he has died or not, but later on. Blood all over her, blood on his shirt, everything. And she realized that people have all gathered around. And today, what people normally do when something happens? They immediately come to your help? No. People who were gathered took out their mobile phones and started taking photographs and recording videos instead of helping them get up. Instead of taking them to the hospital first, started taking the mobile and recording. And this had a great impact on her. People, instead of helping me, helping my dad, are recording and sending it on WhatsApp to others. You know what she did? She could have been very negative about it, but she did not. She felt like she was crowned with thorns by these people. Instead of reaching out to me, they're interested in their own, who will be the first to record and first to send to others. And she made it a point in life that she would not regret. You know what she's doing now? Now she is probably very young, 23, 24, 25 years. She has dedicated her life to people in trouble, especially women, people who are on the streets, children who are orphans, widows, those who are elderly, those who have nobody to take care. She goes on the streets, she goes to the slums, and she helps them because she sees her own family in them. Crowning with thorns, but not to be taken negatively, but doing something good. Shalini Roberts. When you go back home, you know what people call her in Madras now, that is Tamil Nadu? They call her Amma. She is just 23 or 24 years old. In south of India, whether it is Tamil Nadu or Kerala or Karnataka, Amma is referred to as mother. Those who are 70 years, 80 years are calling her mother because she has dedicated her life taking care of them. Isn't it beautiful? This is what the Lord is inviting you and me to do today. Not to be bothered about the thorns that come in your life and in my life. That will always be there. The more you do good, the more will people accuse you, the more will people criticize you. You look at Jesus. In all these healings, in all his deliverance, finally he was mocked. Before he was crucified, he was crowned with thorns. But even this requires courage. To accept negativity from people when you are doing good requires courage, serenity. Dear friends, I invite your time in silent prayer this evening. Let us ask the Lord to give us the grace to courageously witness to him, even though people may not accept your teaching, your preaching, your way of life. Please spend a moment in silence.